opportunity, right? I mean, Bellingham's going to go to Real Madrid. I've said that already. But the sale, with it taking as much time as it is, it's really cutting into the summer plans that Ten Hag needs. Really is.
Yeah, and as a result, there's been a lot of outcry. Um, but we're still monitoring the situation here at Cheesy Sports. You'll always get the latest news. In fact, you'll probably even get news from the future, and we're in the past. But moving on from that, into the last bit of Manchester United related news for the day, I believe, and it is Alexis McAllister, the World Cup winner with Brighton. It's been linked to Manchester United. Reported fee of the likes of about 40 to 45 million. The fee is a little bit disputed from here and there. I've seen some people say 40. I've seen some people say we'll have to offer about 50 million for him. But Jackson, regardless of that fact, do you think that Alexis McAllister could slot right into our midfield? Do you think he challenges? Do you think he's up to scratch? We know what he can do for Brighton and Hove Albion. We've seen what he can do at the World Cup. Do you think he can emulate that at the Theatre of Dreams?
Well, I think McAllister is a really good player. I think that Alexis McAllister, I think he does slot in because he can play in every position as a 10, a 6, an 8. He's done it all for Brighton. Potter, De Zerbi, same. Um, the price is fully based on the World Cup because, before the World Cup, it was quoted at about 30, 40 million. And, that was fair, but, he's a World Cup winner, so you add 20 more million on that, and that's your final price. I think it would be open for negotiating because they're going to get a boatload of money if Caicedo leaves, and if someone is dumb enough to go in for Mitoma this early, and if Evan Ferguson leaves, they're going to get a boatload of money for those players. So for McAllister, it may be open to negotiating. You may be able to get him on a cut price, but it's I think he's a really good player. He is a really, really good player. I mean, he is the reason Argentina won on this Enzo Fernandez in the midfield bullshit. He was the midfielder that won it for them. And, I mean, whether he goes to United or Liverpool or Chelsea or whoever else has been rumored to get him, then, it would be a great signing. But Alexis McAllister, I'll take it every day of the week.
You heard it here first. Alexis McAllister is welcome at Manchester United every day of the week. But moving on from the Premier League. Well, no, last topic on the Premier League actually, and this is another opinionated question, right? Reports, or not reports, but statements have been said, and many believe in a poll that was recently carried out, featuring about 250,000 participants. Kevin De Bruyne, the best midfielder in Premier League history. Jackson, based on his stats, based on his performances, based on his titles, all of that, and his reputation, do you agree with this statement?
That's a trick question because I don't.
History.
I don't. That's rubbish. Look, for me, and I don't care what anybody wants to say, De Bruyne is not even the best midfielder in Man City history, right? That he wasn't better than David Silva when they went on that run. He was not the better player. David Silva just got no credit for it. And Yaya Toure has been the best midfielder City have ever had, who's been able to do everything. Now, can De Bruyne defend? Never seen him do it. Can he actually show up in a big game? Never seen him do it. I mean, he only plays well against Arsenal or Chelsea. He doesn't play well against anybody else. And, apart from one good game here and there, when United were on it, we never saw him. When Liverpool were on it, we never saw him. When even Tottenham were on it, we never saw him. Like, when has he ever beaten Tottenham in his career, by the way? I don't think he has. It's ridiculous, man. I'm going to list a few. Over bloody Keane, Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard, and all those legends of the game, Patrick Vieira, and oh my god, it's just rubbish. I don't think people. I think they quizzed everybody that was below the age of 21. I'm genuinely serious about that.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. He isn't even the best in City's history. according to Jackson Bryan.
Easy.
But moving on from that, on to the League of Champions, where some interesting results happened. Everyone could see that Chelsea were dominated by Madrid. Madrid cruising to an easy 2-0 victory in the first 5 minutes. They were, of course, really good, taking 1 and 2 shots. João Felix needs to get the burners on, because if he had the burners on, he would have probably scored and the tie would have turned out different. To Jackson, do you believe that Chelsea has even a 1% chance of turning it over against this Real Madrid team next week?
Well, I'm kidding. But yeah, after seeing their performance against Brighton today, and I mean Brighton is a great team. I mean, shout out to Encisa for that belter. But after seeing that performance, Chelsea can't score, man. Chelsea can't score goals, and it's weird because I remember in the summer they had Lukaku. I mean, they didn't want him. Being fair, he wasn't that good at the time. They had Lukaku, they loaned him out. They brought in Aubameyang, he can't get a game. They bought this kid, David Datro Fofana, as a striker. Haven't heard of him. They bought Madueke. Haven't heard of him. They have João Felix. Well, Felix, that's how it's pronounced. They keep playing Kai Havertz up front, even though he's complete rubbish. I mean, Leverkusen must still be laughing that they got £80 million for that guy. And, I mean, they have about 2,742 midfielders in the squad and 0 strikers who are credible. Aubameyang isn't registered. I just remembered he's not registered for the Champions League, so it doesn't even matter. Datro Fofana is not there. I was thinking about Andre Santos, but he's another midfielder. They're just stacked in the midfield, and what's the point? Like, the defense is getting injured everywhere. No one can handle Vinicius, and there's no one to score. It's just a catalogue of bullshit. And, Todd Bowley has to take it because he's the guy who bought all these players and put them on 8-year contracts. So now he's going to be changing managers 3 times a year for 8 years. Oh, he's going to be broke. But no, they don't got any chance.
All right. You heard it here first. The chance of them winning are the chances of my dead grandma rising back tomorrow morning. So that ain't happening. Moving on from that. Sorry, that was a little bit morbid.
Yeah, that's
Moving on from that. AC Milan edged past Napoli thanks to a goal from Benacer to lead the tie 1-0. Of course, Osimhen was never there. But the big story is not the fact that AC Milan won. It's the fact that Zlatan could be on his way to a Champions League semi-finals. Jackson, what do you make of this?
Well, Zlatan had to find his way into something. That's Zlatan. That is the man who is Zlatan. Has he ever won it? No. That and the World Cup are the only trophies evading him. I think that... I don't think Milan are going to win next week, though. I don't see it. I mean, Osimhen is going to be back. Even though I don't rate him as highly as other people think. I think if they do get the chances, they may finish. But then again, Mike Maignan for Milan, he's probably the best goalkeeper in the world, rivaling Courtois right now. And it's going to be difficult, going back to Milan, trying to get 2 goals. It's not going to be a very easy thing. I mean, Hricha, he couldn't do anything special without Victor Osimhen there. I don't know if there's one thing I can guarantee. It's gonna be an Italian team in the final. Unless Benfica do a madness, there's gonna be an Italian team in the final. But I have no idea who it's gonna be now. Because after that performance as a quote-unquote one-man team that Napoli looked like, I'm stunned. Even Inter beating Benfica was a stunner for me.
Alright, fair enough. Moving on. I don't really have anything to add there. I agree with you wholeheartedly. From that, and speaking of Osimhen is on the books of Bayern Munich. The Nigerian striker has apparently been approached by Oliver Kahn and Thomas Tuchel to try to convince him to get there. I know this was on our story a couple of weeks ago, but talks are currently progressing nicely according to Oliver Kahn. Jackson, can you see this one working out?
Listen up. I like how you brought it up that we spoke about a couple of weeks. Remember I said, I know United want him, but what money do they have? They have to wait on the sale. Chelsea want him, but, it's Chelsea. I mean, do they even have actual money? All their payments are spread over 8 years. Real Madrid may want him, but won't spend on a striker. They don't see that as a necessity. Liverpool City don't want him, and that leaves... He's not going to leave Napoli for Juventus or anything. And that leaves Bayern Munich. And I always said he seems like a Bayern Munich player. He may be the first one that they actually spend 9 digits on. 100 million, that might be it, because Bayern have a way in the transfer window to convince teams to sell at their price, just like Real Madrid do. I think if Osimhen goes to Bayern Munich, then they may rival the Real Madrid team that went for a three-peat. I see that as a very big possibility if he does go to Bayern. I really do.
Fair enough. I agree, actually. The one thing Bayern lacks right now is an out-and-out striker. We saw that in the first leg versus Real Madrid. Wait, no, against Manchester City. What am I on about? That's the next topic. We saw it in the first leg against Manchester City, where Manchester City pummeled them. Of course, Bayern did have good chances in that match. Sane was giving shoot-on-sight orders, and Mane was giving shoot-on-sight orders for Sane. Mane has been fined by Bayern Munich. Not terminated, but fined for a scrap after that match. Jackson, I know that we don't use profanities on this channel, so I want to request your permission to say what was said.
You can go ahead, man. You know we have to label this anyway.
Alright, so fair enough. So apparently, blows were exchanged, or by blows I mean Mane punching Sane in the face, on the lip, after Sane allegedly called him black shit. Not exactly nice, Leroy. After the game, he was apparently upset over not being given the ball on multiple occasions after Sane opted for the more outrageous attempts at goal. So Jackson.
Yeah, no. I first and foremost, Sane and Mane, it took me a while to realize that they were actually from the same country at one point in time. I don't think they've ever liked each other. I don't think they've ever actually liked each other. I saw Sane's lip today. Mane, there are question marks over whether he'll stay at Bayern Munich after this. Well, I'm saying, cancelling his contract does free up some money for a certain number 9 to be brought in. But there's no links to that. Bayern have a lot to sort out. You fired a coach before you played probably the biggest game of your season. Then, you have midfielders and forwards on the bench saying they need to have a look in because this team can rotate. Then you have Tommy Tuchel, who plays Upamecano over going with Pavard and Stanisic for some goddamn reason as well. Yeah, I just don't understand what Bayern are doing at all. And well, if what Mane said is what Sane said is true, then hit the shit out of him. No pun intended. But, it's all good fun. I mean, Roy Keane, you can remember Premier League players in the past, Tony Eboa, they all caught in scraps with their teammates, but that just built the chemistry. So maybe that's what's going to happen.
Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, we've seen it happen in the past already, scraps between teammates. I can actually remember Robin and Ribéry getting into one. I don't know if you remember that one, but
yeah, they're good friends.
Moving on from that and to another situation that has gripped the football world recently. We're talking about the king himself, the number 2, Achraf Hakimi. His wife apparently filed for divorce, and upon revealing, he owns basically none of his assets. His mother has claim to all of them, including 80%.